These wheels don't look too great, do they? It's all the rust I just chipped away off of my wheels so I can put some lipstick on a pig. That especially was not fun, but you know, it is what it is. This is just what happens with these wheels out in the elements all the time. Let's see what happens now. That's better. One chunk of paint that might as well just pull off by hand. Alright, YouTube, so what am I doing here? Well, what I'm doing, like I just said, putting some lipstick on a pig. See, I just bought this trailer. This is my second load with it. And, you know, the nature of the beast is, unless you buy from a certain dealership or a certain location that does certain things like warranties or inspections or whatever else, you're going to get what you're going to get. And I found this trailer. It's a Hyundai Translead Hi-Q. It's a nice trailer, it really is. The box is in really good condition. The undercarriage and suspension and the framing is in really good condition. The roughest part of the whole trailer really is the wheels. They're rusty because they're just painted steel, and they just don't stand up well to the elements, unlike polished aluminum. So one of the long-term plans I have for this trailer is to replace all of the painted rims, wheels, whatever you want to call them, with polished aluminum. Number one, to make sure that they're going to withstand the elements really nicely, because I'm going to have this trailer, you know, whether it's 2 years or 10, I'm going to own it for a while, and I'm not going to be sharing it with anybody, so, and, you know, it's my name on the title for it, so it's like, might as well make it look pretty. And the second, of course, like I just mentioned, it's just appearance-wise, it's going to look nicer. But for the interim, until I decide it's time for me to actually replace these painted wheels, I'm going to paint them with some just some white Rust-Oleum spray paint, just to make them look okay, while I look for an opportunity, or decide to take an opportunity to actually, you know, swap them out. But that is down the road a little bit, so it probably won't be until September, October time frame, just because, you know, like I've already talked about in a different video, I've been off for over the last month, so it's time to make some money back, get the old budgets and accounts refreshed and restored here, reloaded, and then I can start doing fun stuff like replacing wheels and making stuff look pretty. But for the interim, rattle can patch jobs will do just fine. Time to put the lipstick on, isn't it? Yeah, this wheel is especially ugly. Really wish it wasn't that bad, but you know, that's life. It is what it is. But I figured, since I'm putting lipstick on the pig, why not do a little extra? Shine that up a little bit. So, we'll see how it shakes out. One coat done on each of my outboard right side rims here. It looks a heck of a lot better than it did before I started, but it definitely is not a good makeup job. I am not as good with paint cans as I thought I was, but good enough that I'm going to be happy with the final result, because again, this is a placeholder for actually replacing these wheels just on principle. Possibly even the tires too, not sure yet. Tires are in good shape. You know, they've got pretty good tread on them, so I don't need to rush to replace them, but it's definitely a thought that's in my head because, you know, I don't know where they've been. I don't know how they've been treated before I bought this trailer, so it's one of those things where you can probably trust them, but to what degree? This is the left side outboards. These were not nearly as beat up as my right side. Yeah, there's a couple of big spots on each wheel, but overall, in general, these two wheels are in significantly better shape, paint-wise, and possibly even rust-wise than the left sides. Just so you can tell I'm not fibbing with you. Yeah, they're still in pretty decent shape, but I'm still gonna paint them just because I want a bit of uniformity, and also the rust is ugly, and the trailer is not. So, you know, look at, generally speaking, it's in pretty good shape. So, I want my wheels to reflect that as well. And that's the first coat on my left side. Already a colossal improvement, like you already saw in the first two. All thanks to Rust-Oleum Pure White Gloss Protective Enamel Stops Rust, which in this context I highly doubt, but it's a nice thought. And that's two coats. From far enough away you wouldn't be able to tell if these are actually pretty heinously grody, which is the entire idea. It's a significant improvement in appearance, which is what I was going for. Next, of course, is going to be repainting those runners, whatever those are, getting them shined up a little bit. Let's see my grody oversprayed fingertips there, but oh well. This is a dirty job, it's just the way it is. This was a 2 complete spray can job to get from what it was to what it is. I emptied both cans completely onto these wheels, and this is the result. I bought a third can in case they needed to do any touch-up down the way. I might end up using that can up as I go along just to kind of, you know, work things around a little bit and get them a little spiffier. Alright, so that's the first coat done on these rails. And I'm using Rust-Oleum Universal Advanced Formula Metallic Paint and Primer in one flat antique nickel. And I gotta say, I like how this looks. It's not too ostentatious, not too ridiculous, not too punch you in the face and, you know, glare you out kind of a color. It's just a nice, subtle cleanup of the rust on this particular portion of the trailer, and it is blending, at least in my opinion, blending very nicely with the rest of the trailer's frame down here at the bottom. And this is actually, just to focus here, it's one of those spray nozzles where it will project a vertical stream, which made it really nice to go right across there and really hit that whole zone. You can see there really wasn't a whole lot of overspray up and away. I'm hoping, you know, whatever overspray there was, I can scrub off if I really need to or feel like it, but I'm thinking it's gonna be okay. So I'm gonna let this dry a little bit, then I'm gonna get another couple of coats on just to make it look really sharp, really clear, well, really clean more accurately, and then let it ride, take the tape off. So one thing to take into account when you're deciding to do any job like this is to make sure that you're not immediately next door to any tractor or trailer while you're engaged in this kind of operation, just because, you know, it's polite to not be next to anyone when you're trying to paint something. And I've got all of this space to the that truck over there, and I got a 1 space gap to the guy next to me, which is it prevents any possibility of overspray or a mistake by me getting onto his equipment, causing him any problems, or just causing a problem between the driver and myself. So it's just a way to keep things clean, at least in terms of interpersonal conflict. Also, you're going to want to allow hours between your final paint application and when you start rolling again. Like, for example, I am here on a 34-hour reset because I booked a short haul load Friday evening. Go away, bud. Friday evening. That didn't take me very far, but it gave me opportunities to get some stuff done, to get these wheels painted. Run my trailer through a shop just for a sanity check and a fresh DOT, because word came down from dispatch, hey, everyone get fresh DOTs. I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. Just had it inspected, but I'll get it inspected again. So, it is what it is. But it passed, everything is fine. But every now and again, you gotta have, well, you don't have to have, but stuff like this is gonna happen. You're just gonna get caught somewhere, pinched by load timings or, appointments or deliveries. Just stuff just happens. And the opportunity to take care of little projects or big projects can't be overlooked. I mean, if I'd had the wherewithal and I needed to, like, I could have yesterday run this truck into Speedco or a TA shop or wherever it loves, and just had all 8 of my trailer tires replaced, plus all the wheels, the metal rims swapped out as well, assuming they would have had the appropriate inventory in stock to replace what I wanted to replace, either for the need of vanity or actual necessity, because there's just too much rust and it actually is an integrity problem now for the metal. So that timing, that opportunity was available to me if I had chosen to take advantage of it. But when I was having the trailer inspected, the technician said, yeah, I mean, your trailer's in good shape. The brakes, I mean, the brake, I should know these terms to be able to spit them out, but for whatever reason, English is not my first language right now. Let's try this again. The air brake chambers and the brake drums and the brake shoe lining is all in really good shape, because when I first looked at this trailer, I noticed right off the bat that all 4 air brake chambers were brand new, essentially. All 4 sets of brake shoe linings on all the drums were essentially brand new. So I essentially got a trailer with brand new brakes and air ride suspension that is fully functional. So I really can't say boo about that. So I was really happy to have it validated that yes, this trailer is in good condition. It doesn't need anything but cosmetic work, and cosmetic work is what I'm going to do to it over the course of the next few months, just touching up things here and there. What I really want to do is I want to get under here. You see up in here underneath, this is not in very poor condition at all. This is just basic general wear and tear. But what I want to do is I want to get some sandpaper or whatever, and take some of this cover off just to clean it up a little bit, on my tandem frames here, and just get them cleaned up, get the rust off them, and then paint them with a really good quality paint that's going to stand up to the elements. Because I operate in all 4 seasons, and unfortunately winter is a lot closer than any of us want to really acknowledge, because we're in back to school season right now, and fall is coming. And after fall, of course, it is winter, and depending on who you are or where you are, that snow is the 4-letter word that most truckers never want to hear. Even the boys and girls who do the ice road driving in the middle of nowhere, Canada and Alaska, they don't want to hear it either. But I want to be able to make sure that you know, everything under here, the wood of my trailer floor and, you know, the individual frame rails are protected against the elements, at least to the best degree that I can, just to ensure longevity and just keep degradation at bay. I mean, you're not going to be able to keep these things immaculate over the course of their working lifetime. It's just impossible. But you can do little things, or, well, in this case, big things that will keep these problems from becoming a major concern, and also, you know, possibly keep DOT from yelling at you too much if they see that everything under here, you know, looks like it's in pretty good shape, like it's being taken care of. That could actually help you avoid issues with Officer Friendly and or Smokey Bear. So, you know, it is what it is. But anyway, I'm going to get a little more painting done here. Then I'm going to let things set up before I take the tape off. You know, clean the overspray off my skin here. Get me a shower, something to eat, and call it a day. Thanks for watching YouTube. I'll see you down the road.